Wow, this is intense. Look at the detail here. That is brilliant. Although I still can't see this buoy. If I was actually sailing in these conditions, I would be absolutely 100% no denying that I would be bricking myself. Hello guys, welcome to Sim UK and Sailaway. I have been away from this game for far too long. It's been an absolute nightmare for me over the last couple of weeks and I haven't got any time on this game at all. It's really been stressing me out. But I'm so glad to be back. I thought I'd continue with the challenges and I'm going to try and get as many in per day as I can. You can see there's quite a few. We've got 9 left to do. 9 left to do. So we've done the two easy ones, the very beginner ones. It's now a stormy loop. Experience all the wind angles by sailing around a simple loop. So that still sounds like a fairly beginner's type tutorial, and I don't mind doing them because I genuinely consider myself to be a complete novice, complete beginner. So doing these is good for me to get back in the loop and get my skills up to speed. Incidentally, when you hover over these, the challenge completed sign disappears. So last week I was insinuating that that wasn't acknowledging that I completed it, but you can see there at the top that it in fact does. Thank you for pointing that out. Right, stormy loop. Let's have a goodness gracious me. Now this is how severe this game can get. That is quite intense. I can see like a briefly between the waves, I can see a green line there, which is what I assume we're heading towards. Make your way around the loop and notice how your boat behaves with each wind direction. The conditions mean your boat will ground, dotted white line on your map to see the actual direction you're moving. Right, here we go. Through the starting post. Let's get a bit slightly closer to this. Now apparently up there in the distance somewhere there's a buoy. I'll be honest, I can't see it. Cannot see it. The boat is set to auto sail, so all you have to do is steer. Remember to tack upwind. Understood. Which way is the wind coming? Okay, so we're going to tack sort of round maybe the second and third buoy, it looks like. Wow, this is intense. Look at the detail here. That is brilliant. Although I still can't see this buoy. If I was actually sailing in these conditions, I would be absolutely 100% no denying that I would be bricking myself. I am certainly not enough sailor for this kind of weather. And that's one of the beautiful things about this game, is you can experience all these kind of things in a simulated, safe environment and improve your skills. I just saw the buoy. What sort of speed have we got here? 7.8. To be honest with you, as long as I'm afloat, I don't really care. And I don't have to do anything with the trim at all. Interesting. It's a bit too easy, these challenges, but you know, it's there to teach you the importance of wind and how to cope with wind, I guess. So I'm assuming as we come around this first buoy that the Jenniker's gonna, I don't know, it might be too windy for the Jenniker, to be honest. Ordinarily, if you've got the wind directly behind you, you pull the Jenniker out to get some forward momentum, but I don't think that's going to happen in this such a severe amount of weather. Did I see a ship up ahead then? I thought I saw a boat. Oh, it's a... Oh, okay. It's just the arrows around the buoy. Goodness me. Do you imagine sailing in this? And this is nothing really. In the open seas, The waves get bigger than this. Oof. Goodness lordy, 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 lordy. Where is this flipping buoy? There it is. Okay. So I've hardly had to do anything here. Just going to give it a slight nudge to the left to make sure I go round the buoy as opposed to into it. I'll do a bit more actually. There we go. Now we're going to jibe through the wind here, and I'm going to correct myself from last week. Oh wow, that is way too much of a turning. I've turned way too far. We didn't need to jibe. Well, I don't know, maybe we can hold that jibe. I'm fairly close to the next port, to the next buoy. So last week for some reason, I thought that when the boom comes across, when you jibe, that you're supposed to shout jibe, jibe, jibe. Now I appear to have got confused with submarines, believe it or not, where you say dive, dive, dive. Yeah, so in reality, in sailing terms, I don't know how I managed to get so confused, but in sailing terms, you say ready to jibe, jibe ho. That's what it really is. I don't know what I was thinking last week, but there you go. Just corrected myself. And one of the best things about this game is that it allows you to get the technical knowledge in your head. So if you're thinking of sailing in the future and you just want to get up to speed, then this is a perfect simulator for that. Really good. Although I must say I'm not enjoying this weather much. It's a bit brisk out here. It's not even good weather for ducks. There's actually quite a distance between these buoys. I can't see this second one. Oh, there it is. Just spotted it. If you watch just under the Jenica as the waves dissipate, there you go. You can just see it now, or sort of through the Jenica, about that spot. So we're closing in on it slowly. .8 knots. That's pretty groovy. In conditions like this, that's actually very acceptable speed. Now we should be all right. Actually, round 2, 3. It's going to be around 3 or 4 and 5 that we're going to have to tack. We're definitely going to have to tack after corner 5. There's the buoy now. There's my boy. Okay, we can come in a tad here. Start lining up for the turn. Oh, it's so tricky because it keeps disappearing in the waves. My God, these waves are huge, aren't they? Okay. Okay. Oh. Good God. I would be in full-on panic mode if I was actually out in these weather conditions. I don't think I'd be able to sail. Now, incidentally, the Jenica there was bright red a moment ago, and I assume that means that it was poorly trimmed. I'm not sure if you can control this up here. No. So Sailaway has got control of the sail trim, and there's nothing I can do. But I think if you're on a lower level, that the sails go red to indicate that you need to adjust the trim. So the teaching element of this game is phenomenal. It's the best I've seen. People pay a lot of money to go to get trained on sailing techniques and knowledge. They pay an awful lot of money to do that, and this game is, from that perspective, I think, an incredibly cost-effective way of doing it, because you can go into those, you can still go in to get your qualifications in sailing, but you'll be like completely ahead of the curve. and you'll find it really easy, and it'll probably take you half the amount of time, I'd have thought. Maybe even less than that. Because the tutorials on this are absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Where is that boy gone? There it is. I see you. Behind these epically huge sails. Shall I just nip outside of the boat a second so you can have a look at all the angles? I must say, I'm not overly taken with the camera controls. They seem to be in reverse, and I'm sure I unreversed this the other day, but apparently not. Apparently not. A bit more work to be done in terms of controls for the camera. Where the hell is this boy? Come on, wave, break out so I can see. There we go. I gotcha. I gotcha. Now we're cruising along at 7.8 knots, which is pretty fast for a boat like this. Jeepers creepers. I thought we were going to tip then. I don't think tipping has actually been included yet. I think it's called a slap down. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But I don't think that's currently in the game, or in the simulator, I should say. But I've no doubt it's coming. There have been some updates, actually, quite a few. I mean, obviously they have a game plan of what they're going to produce and release and when. Crikey Moses. That is a big ass swell. Oh my god, look at this. I don't know about you guys, but the ocean is something I am nigh on petrified of. Even on a calm day, I find it scary. But to actually witness the ocean behaving like this, on a little boat like this, oh my god. The power that the ocean has is just unquestionable. I feel a little bit like a spare thumb at the moment, not having to adjust the sails or the trim or anything like that. In time though, I'm assuming these challenges will soon enough force me to be in complete control of the boat, and then it's going to get interesting. If I was actually sailing this myself and trying to adjust the trim, we wouldn't be doing 7.8 knots, I'm sure of that. Incidentally, the auto trim is doing a spectacular job here. There's the boy. I can see my boy. "12 minutes. And we've just passed the halfway mark. So we've got another 12 minutes of this. I think I'm going to have to trim this one down. As sort of exciting and captivating as it is, there is a distinct lack of anything for me to do other than steer at the moment. Oof. Okay, I think we'll be all right round this boy, but we're going to have to start tacking after the next one. So this one we should be fine. We should still have a 40-degree angle, I think, and then we're going to have to tack in this weather to to complete the course. Okay, let's get our angles in. Oh, it looks like we're going to have to start tacking now. We are not going to have a 40-degree angle. I was completely wrong. Right, let's move this map down a tad. You can see I'm going to have to tack out, tack back in. This is going to take more than 12 minutes, in fact. Awful lot of tacking required to get up there, I think. If I'm smart enough, I'm just wondering whether I should tack all the way out and then all the way up. Not experienced enough to know whether tacking out and tacking back in is good God. I'm having to go almost completely horizontal here to maintain a 40-degree angle. If you look up here, this is our AWA. Oh no, our AWA 60. Sorry, this is the AWA. Okay, so I can come in a little bit. It doesn't seem to match up to me, unless that says 60. No, it doesn't. Or does it? Oh, okay, yeah, it is this line. Sorry, I thought that said 40. That actually says 60. That's why I was getting confused. Okay, that's a better angle. And in fact, we can bring it in a tad more. In fact, looking at it now, realising that is the correct one. I wish these were a different colour, actually. The AWA and the TWA. I wish they were a different colour. That would definitely make my life a bit easier. For beginners like me. So we've got a 46-degree angle. I think I'm going to stick with a 46-degree angle. I'm going to come all the way out here and then I'm going to tack back in. So we're just going to do one tack, but it is going to take us wide. But unfortunately, if you're sailing into the wind, that's what you're going to need to do. It's going to be a question of whether or not I time the tack correctly. Which of course I will. Just having to adjust my sailing there. Our AWA dropped down to 30 odd. Going to be a tricky one, this. Wow, we are getting beaten about by these waves, I tell you now. Just trying to hold a 45-degree angle is proving very difficult. So I was just doing a quick test there to see how much slower we'd sail at 40 degrees as opposed to 45. And we're dropping about 0.6 knots by doing that, so I'm going to return back to 45-degree angle. I think overall that's going to give us a faster sail to the finish line. Well, literally as I say that, not sure if the winds have changed or what, but 46 degrees is now only giving me 6.9, 6.8 and slowing. I imagine the trim isn't as well configured as it could be. Although the telltales seem pretty good. Back up to 7 knots. Maybe it's the waves. We're cruising back up to 7.1. Maybe it's hitting the waves really hard, is slowing the boat down, crashing into the front there. We're almost at the point where we can tack. In fact, if I tack at a 40-degree angle, I'll tack in, but I think I'm going to have to tack out again. So let's have a go anyway. Let's tack in. Jibe ho. Except it isn't. I don't know what you say when you tack. I'll have to investigate that. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get the angle we need. Oh, just about actually. We're pinching a 47-degree angle there, so actually that is the perfect time to turn. It was a good gamble, although our speed has dropped down to 6.7. Even though we're pulling a 49-degree angle, 6.6 knots, we are going a lot slower, but we're going a lot slower in the direction we actually want to go, so I guess that's okay. We are actually completely borderline 40 degree for our target. A lot of minor steering tweaking required to keep us moving in this direction. Although we're cruising along at 7.3 on a 45-degree angle, that's pretty good. So guys, it really is sort of as thin as a piece of paper whether or not we're going to get around this buoy on a 40-degree angle. I did turn a little bit too early. I think we can just about rustle our way round, but we may end up having to tack again in order to get through the finish post. So I was a bit too early turning in then, tacking in. I should have held off even for another 30 seconds, would have made a huge difference. But we'll get there. I can see the buoy coming up now, and it looks like we've got a good angle to get around it. We're on a 50-degree angle at the moment, so we can always bring that back all the way down to 40. And if I can hold 40, which requires constant steering adjustments, then we should be okay actually. It's pretty tight though, pretty tight. Where is that buoy? There it is. It seems quite a distance, but yeah, tight. In fact, just looking at it now, we can probably come in round about 45-degree angle. That's what I'm going to try and maintain to the finish. Look at that rain effect. It's just mesmerising. I can almost feel it hitting my face. Brilliant stuff. Do you know what I'd love to see actually? Having weather like this and you see the spots on the screen like that is fantastic, but when the front of the boat hits hard into the water and spray comes up like that, I'd like to see a double amount suddenly hit your face, so that you know, you're getting a double whammy of water to the face experience. But we've got some... oh, I just haven't been keeping an eye on my AWA, so we just need to turn a bit to the right, to starboard, sorry. Get that 45-degree angle back. 43 I think is about the best I can pull off here. 44 maybe. 45, there we go, just about inside the finish line. So sending somebody out on a solo sail in these kind of conditions seems absolutely ludicrous, insanity, but there are many people who have sailed in these conditions completely alone in real life. So my hat goes off to all of you, sirs and ladies. I can see the finish line. 28 minutes. I'd love to get there in under 30. Can we pull it off? Got a good headwind of 7.3. 7.4. Actually speeding up. That's awesome. We should get there in under 30. Minute and 20 seconds to get there. Come on. Yeah, we got this. We got this. Sub 30 minutes. Come on, roll on in there. Woohoo! Successville. Awesome. That's another one ticked off, guys. And this one was, wow, an experience. No doubt about that.